In this video we're talking mortgage early repayment charges. What are they? Why are they there? And if you're in a fixed term, how do you find out whether you can afford to move or not? Hi, it's Ben from Hannells and I'm back again here with Joe, one of our expert in-house mortgage advisors, and in this video we're talking mortgage early repayment charges. So Joe, can you give us a bit of a summary as to what an early repayment charge actually is when it comes to mortgages?
Yeah, so an early repayment charge is basically a charge if you pay your mortgage off early. They're usually for fixed rate mortgages, so if you're in a 5-year fixed rate, for example, you'll have a charge if you pay your mortgage off early in that time, in that first 5 years, that time period there. Now, the way they're calculated is usually a percentage of your mortgage. So for example, in that scenario, 5-year fixed rate, the first year of your mortgage, if you pay it off clear your mortgage, it's 5% of your mortgage balance. So in that first year, if your mortgage balance is 100,000, you pay an extra 5,000, which is 5%. To clear, and that's your penalty for doing that.
Yeah, that's interesting, because if I lend anybody money, if I'm just putting myself in the headspace of a lender, it seems common sense that the sooner they pay me back, the better, because I've got all the money back in my account. So why, from a mortgage lender's perspective, do they have these charges for paying your mortgage off quicker than the terms that they've agreed with you?
So a mortgage lender has these early repayment charges because, you know, if they're lending you money, they want to be making the interest. That's how they make the money, is on their interest rate. So if you're clearing off early, they're potentially losing out on some money. That's why they have an early repayment charge.
So what's the situation then if I'm in the middle of a fixed term and I want to think about moving?
So if you're in the middle of your fixed rate term and wanting to move house, there is a way around it. Now, most mortgage companies let you do a thing called porting, which is basically where you pick the mortgage up that you have, take it to a new property. Okay? If the new property is more expensive than the old one, you will have to apply for some additional funds, which will be on a different interest rate. In this market at the moment, if your interest rate's a lot lower and you've got a few years left to go, it's probably worth doing the mortgage port. Now, a couple of things are needed in this. You need to make sure that you can borrow enough to buy the house that you're looking at buying. You also need to make sure that the mortgage lender can lend against the type of property that you're looking to buy. But yeah, you can definitely move over and get around paying that early repayment charge. It's always best to speak to someone about that, because for me, for example, I've got a calculator that works out what your early repayment charge would be, and if it's more beneficial to completely move and pay the early repayment charge or port your mortgage. Have a look at both scenarios.
Okay, so it's good to know there's options, but again, if I'm in the middle of this fixed term, how do I actually find out what my penalty is going to be for paying off the mortgage earlier?
So it will be on your mortgage illustration that you'll get from the mortgage lender. Now, if you're like me and it's in that drawer with all your important documents that you never find anything again, most mortgage lenders will have an online system that you can log in and actually find out what your up-to-date mortgage balance is, when your fixed rate term ends, and also what your early repayment charge is as well.
So let's say it's my lucky week and somehow I've come into some money. I'm thinking, right, I'm going to put this towards paying off my mortgage. What should I do to find out whether that's the right thing for me or not?
When you're in a fixed rate, you can pay up to 10% of your mortgage balance off each year. So if your mortgage balance is £100,000, you can pay an extra £10,000 towards your mortgage balance without being penalised. So you can either do bits like that, or you can wait till the fixed rate ends and pay the chunk off without being penalised with an early repayment charge.
Okay, thanks Joe. So if you're in a fixed term mortgage and you want to move but you're not sure whether you can, the best thing to do, as always, is come and speak to us at Hannells, have a chat with Joe or one of our other in-house expert mortgage advisors, and they'll be able to give you the best advice and point you in the right direction. And for anything else property or mortgage related, if you've got any questions, stick them in the comments below, send us a message, or you can reach us at hannells.co.uk. So Joe, as always, thank you for joining us and sharing your mortgage expertise. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.